My name is Matt Glover, and I'm the Director of Technology here at the church at Brook Hills.
My name's Landon Robertson, and I'm the Production Manager here at the church at Brook Hills.
So the current worship space is built kind of like a theater. We've got a full fly system, full theater lighting. We also do video support in the room. We do a 3-camera shoot on Sunday morning, and that provides IMAX support for people in the room as well as overflow seating.
For our services on Sunday, we typically just do drums, bass, acoustic guitar, a couple of electric guitars, keyboards, and then vocal mics. The venue is set up to do productions for when groups rent our facilities. So we have 96 inputs total, and they're spread out around the stage. So if we needed to do orchestra pit or like show choir type events, we had to have the pockets set up for things different than we use on our typical Sunday morning service.
The monitor desk is driving 14 stereo ear mixes, and then every now and then we'll connect a wedge up if we're doing choir or something that has a smaller vibe like an acoustic and a vocal.
So we have friends that work at other churches, and a lot of local churches here in town have a contemporary service and a traditional service to kind of meet the needs of the church body that's coming in. What ends up happening is they'll have on the traditional service more of a piano and vocal kind of feel, and then on the contemporary service they might have drums and electric guitars. And here at Brook Hills we kind of do the same service for all, so it doesn't end up being one generation of people going to a contemporary service and then a different type of people go to a traditional service, and then they're completely disconnected and they don't feel like one church body. So we kind of have the same service, so if you sleep in and show up at the 11 instead of the 9 o'clock service, it still feels like home. My background is in rock music, so my home base, my default is loud kick, loud snare, pretty full electric guitars, and then the vocals barely sitting above. But to make the most people happy here in a church setting, you mainly just want to make the vocals audible. So even if I feel that they're too hot, I just need to make sure that everyone can hear the vocal. And we still want to make it as full sounding as we can, as close to the type of music of the songs that they're playing, but mainly just clean and unoffensive, I guess, as loud as I can get the guitars without getting people to complain is my goal. We purposely don't have a dB meter in here. As far as someone just saying it was too loud, it's pretty variable, pretty subjective conversation. So we mainly just try to keep it where it's loud enough that everyone can feel the energy of the stage and everyone feels like they're a part of it instead of a band performing, but not so loud that it's distracting or that it bothers people that they want to move. The way that the PA is aimed, every section of seats are kind of getting hit by their own box or a couple of boxes, so we're able to get a pretty even volume coverage through the room, so everybody's getting hit by about the same level. And it helps that the room is treated, but it's not super dead. I mean, there's still some energy in the room, but we have acoustic treatment, so there's no like buildup of low end or really bright early reflections. But it's still a live room. It still sounds like a music venue and not like a dead room or a movie theater. My main focus is just making sure nothing ever goes wrong. We can make it sound good. If you're on staff running front of house, you should be able to get a good sounding mix. That should be 101. And so past that, it's mainly making sure there's no such thing as mistakes. The best thing that could ever happen to me, or like the biggest compliment that I can get, is at the end of the service when I walk to the stage, not one person notices me or recognizes me, because they never had to turn their head back at front of house and try to figure out what's going on. People leave just never noticing technology. Every video fired perfectly, every mic was working, and people leave not realizing that there's technology even in the room. And so I think that's a home run for me.
Kind of my philosophy has always been, I want to buy the best piece of equipment that's going to get us farthest down the road, quality-wise, lifespan-wise, but also in terms of, I guess in this scenario at least, sound quality. You know, we want the technology to get out of the way. We don't want it to be the weakest link. This sounds bad to say, but I want the player to be the weakest link, if that makes any sense, because that's something we can grow. Once we've made a purchase, I can't change that out, if you will, you know? It's, and so we buy at a level that achieves that. When you buy equipment, that kind of raises the bar, if you will. It forces everybody else to raise their bar, if that makes any sense.
It just sounded good by itself. It just kind of had everything that I needed in the box. After our demo, we didn't really talk about it, and then the next day I kind of was asking Matt his thoughts on the demo, and he kind of, same as me, we didn't talk about it. We both were just like, hey, this has everything we need in the box. Yeah, we can buy third-party plugins and hardware to get more stuff, but for right now, we have everything we need in it, and we're happy with the sounds that we're getting in it.
Yeah.
At front of house is fader tile 1. To my right is mainly VCAs and just output stem. So it pretty much lives on its one top layer of just drum stem, bass, acoustic, electric, just my band VCAs and band stems and my key singers. And then fader tile 2 on my left, I have banks of the 12, so my 12 drum inputs and my 12 band inputs and my 12 wireless mic inputs, and then I leave a master tile, if you will, on my left of whatever the key things for that service might be. So if we have a baptism, I'll have the baptism mic, I'll have the pastor's mic, the main singer's mics, and then video playback and pre-service roll all on one tile. So really, after sound check is over, if I've got a good sounding mix with my VCAs and stems at 0 on my right hand side, tile 1, then I pretty much live the whole service on those 2 tiles with my master faders up and my master tile. So I'm not changing a ton of pages during a service. So for me, the easier I can make it during the service, for me, the more I can focus on making it sound good and making sure there's nothing else going on. I don't like having to change a lot of pages once there's people in the room. I just want it to kind of run itself. The easier, the better for me. I think as far as my favorite would just be the build of the board and the signal flow. When I plug, if I get the instrument sounding the way I want to and find the mic that I like on it, I don't have to do as much work to get it sounding the way that I want to. It just sounds good. I just put the right mic on a good sounding drum and it sounds like a drum. I don't have to create some drum sound. So instead of spending so much time making something sound good, taking things out that I don't like, I like that it already sounds good, so I can spend more time building a mix creatively instead of fixing.
When we were thinking through integration and this project as a whole, one of the things I wanted to stay away from was a patch bay, as well as a splitter. And so we decided that we wanted to utilize the gain sharing feature of the console. And that allowed us to take all the lines from stage in and eliminate the patch bay and splitting. Front of house has master gain control, and the monitor engineer just tracks with him. It's worked really well on Sunday. If we need a change, the musicians on stage don't even know that it's happened. And our volunteers and guys at monitors, it's a non-issue for them. They don't have to set gain or anything like that. It's all happening at the front of house, and so it's very user-friendly in that regard.
We didn't have very many people ask, did we get a new board or anything like that. Most of the people that didn't know that we installed a new console just said that they could hear more definition on the stage than what was previously going on. And these are non-musicians, so they didn't know how to describe it. They just said, I could hear what the guitar player was doing, or it sounded cleaner today, or just kind of blanket statements like that. Because I don't feel that I mixed it differently than I mixed before on our previous console. I'm kind of in the ballpark volume and stylistically as we were before. So most of the comments were just, I can tell what the guitar player was doing. It's like, well, he's not doing anything different. I didn't change it. So I think they could just hear the clarity and the detail in the board.